folks, so we're back molding, as you can see, but we ain't got the FW on there. No, we're in the 225. So yeah, the FW, she's a little bit poorly, nothing too major, she's just got a cold. She hasn't got you know, hasn't got the plague or anything like that. She's just got a cold, but we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, so we've got 225 on the Ceres Unimole. See how it copes. Alright, so that's how much we got done with the old FW. A fair chunk, and we'll soon be on, you know, obviously got the wood there. Once we get to the wood, we'll be on a lot shorter work. So kind of glad I'll have that for the shorter work, if it'll pull it. I don't know if it'll pull it yet, but because certainly it has took some, it's not been too bad in here, but you can feel each and every tram line, and over the far side, the other end of the field there, it is quite tight over there, so we'll see what it'll do anyway. First things first, we just need to measure the width of me thing, so we'll go 230 on that, 2.3 metres. Yeah, that's in the middle there. We'll go 2.35 metres. Obviously we'll go, we'll use auto steer. Got it, I'm going to use it, simple as. Right, so I'll quickly just put that in. Doesn't take very long to do. Width, I'm just going to simply go 2.35, wasn't it? Hitch point, C, a metre will do. Yeah, that's all good, confirm that. Didn't actually put the what it was in, did I? So we want, so when we come back we know what it is. Ceres mole, there we go. I'm actually really keen to see whether this will pull it, because obviously, you know, weight is key. Yes, you need some horsepower, but you know, weight is key to be able to put your power down to the ground. You know, so I mean, what does this tractor weigh? 7, probably 8 ton maybe with the front weight. So it's not, you know, it's not massively heavy. It could almost do with some wheel weights on a lot. Up and down there, and that's the ramming float. So we'll just ease forward a bit now. I want an aggressive transmission. Let's get it in a little bit and we'll just go out and have a look. I don't think we're low enough. Now we may have to just lengthen it a bit actually, because it just looks like the foot is lower at the front than at the back. So we've got a fair set now. Just the front's just like a inch off the floor, maybe a bit more, a couple of inches off the floor, so that you know, the front's not bulldozed. Like I say, we've had, you know, just had this bit of rain over the past couple of days, and it's just made the top crumbly, so there's no resistance there, like, so it just bulldoze. So what it's doing now is when it's getting the tough bits through the tram lines and that, it's allowing the board to come down, the beam even to come down, and just get some more, you know, give more weight to the tractor, so the tractor can pull, it doesn't stop, and all that sort of stuff. So we're getting on very well actually. And also I think the fact that we had that rain, we've got that crumb on top, it's just allowing these tyres to bite in a bit more. So yeah, I'm quite impressed, to be fair. I really am quite impressed. But that's where the tyre technology differs on this to the FW. So Just drop her in. Still, that's a lot easier than the FW. So like the FW's on, you know, she's on probably original tyres, and like the lowest you can really go realistically with them is like about 16 psi. You probably could go lower, but you know you're risking damaging the tyres. So you're losing a lot of contact patch there, like. Whereas these Michelin Mach X bibs, you know, with the VHF, very high flexion, yeah, very high flexion sidewalls in them. You can run them ultra low pressures, so you get a real, like almost a mini, you know, a mini track. So you're running like about 4 clicks at a time on the floor. So it does give you a lot of surface area for grip. But of course, you still need the weight to put it down, like so. But you can see, I mean, we're doing about 20% wheel slip at the minute, 22. So we're getting a fair bit of wheel slip, but you can see them lugs are biting in and, you know, getting some traction. So, yeah, so we're doing all right, look. So I'm just filling in between what I've started with this tractor and the last pull of the FW, and it's considerably tighter this way. We're at sort of 30-35% wheel slip at the minute. So when we got, you know, when we're going that way, and I've done what 6-7 pulls that way, it's a lot easier, which is good. But I think this top end of this field's a lot tighter. It's like we're 23, 28, you know, a lot of wheel slip, but we're just about to pull into this. Obviously I've strained it up with the auto steer. We're just about to pull into the last mole of the FW, as you can see, because I can't drive straight. I can drive fairly straight, but not that straight. So out we come. So yeah, so when we go back in this side here, we'll drop back in here. I think we'll find life a lot easier again. Like. So it'd been interesting to see how the how this tractor coped on the harder side, like. But it is coping. That's the main thing, like. You know, it is actually it is coping all right. Drop her in, like so. We're off. See, look at that, it's not even needing to rev really. Surprising how much difference there is between, you know, what, 20-30 yards lot. We're at 9% wheel slip. Creeping up a little bit now, but that's just tram line, I think. You can see the difference here between the T7 225, which is this pass, So you see where it's scrabbling. This is the difference, you see. See where that's been scrabbling, and you go on to where the FW's been, nothing at all. That's where the weight and traction of the FW, trumps like the conventional tractor. See, a lot of folks don't realise just how much pulling these big old ceramic plugs take. I mean, that's a 4-inch mole, that is, and let me tell you, it does take some pulling. So that's the difference between something like this, which is coping, especially in this, it's got a bit tougher as I've got down the field, and it's coping. Whereas like the FW was on top of the job, no slip. Yes, you could hear the engine note change going through the tough bits, the tram lines, that sort of stuff. But it was a nice steady pull, like 225. Now, like I say, we're in a bit of a tougher area of the field again, and we're up sort of 20% wheel slip again, that's just where the weight of like the FW and like the Cat D8, they can put the power down to the ground, because FW weighs, well, FW's lightweight compared to the D8. FW's 13 ton. This is probably all up at the minute about 8. So that's a 5 ton difference. And then obviously D8, what are they, 30 ton, maybe more. So that's the difference, that is the difference. But like I say, it is coping. I mean, there are benefits to this. I mean, I can soon swing round at the end of the pass. It's much more comfy than the FW. I've got the auto steer, the CHC nav system. So every row is bang, 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 spot on, rather than my wobbly steering. I'm not too bad, but I'm not as accurate as auto steer. But anyway, FW, where are we with that? Well, when I last come into this field, I did 4 hours with it, and I was getting less and less clutch pedal travel, as time progressed. So it got to the stage where I got like a couple of inches, and I was like, this is no good. So I jingled back, and got to the, it was at the stage where you sort of put your foot in the clutch and it was still trying to move, sort of thing, So basically where we are with that, that's out of action. She's got a cold. She hasn't got the plague, but she's got a cold. So basically all the clutch master cylinder, slave cylinder, same for the brakes, because they were sticking on as well, if you remember, because it stood for 10, 11 years, whatever it was. The slave cylinders and the master cylinders have all got corrosion in them. So basically the plungers, basically the plungers got corrosion. So you'd put your foot on the clutch, for example, let it off, but then the plunger wouldn't come back because the corrosion was catching it. And it was the same with the brakes. So all 4 are the same. So Darren, my old buddy, Darren who bought the TW, he's had all 4 off, and he's got a company he knows of that redoes them. Specifically like for classic cars, ones where you can't, just go to the shelf and get a new one. So they'll redo them all, hopefully make them like new. We're going to lob them back on, plumb it all back in, job be a good one, because there's no point buggering about putting another seal in it or whatever, because you're just going to be back to square one. You've got to get rid of that corrosion and start from scratch. So get it done, it's done then, and I'm not going to risk cooking that actual clutch because that's there's no point doing that just for the sake of it. So so the lead time's about 2 to 3 weeks. So if we said a month time they get there, get done, and then we get them back on, hopefully we're still, you know, end of October time or middle of October, we can still do a bit of ploughing, because we've got to get that big plough out, haven't we, lot? I've got all the bits bar one little bit for it now. So we've got to, once we get it all together, we've got to go ploughing with her. And if we get all them bits right, you know, the clutches and everything, job be a good one. She'll be, you know, romping up and down there, 9 furrows on the back, Cummins 903 up front, job be a good one. So, because yeah, the engine seemed, you know, nice and pokey, plenty of power in it. Like, obviously can't test it because it ain't got a PTO, but you know, it seemed good. And you know, no other real faults with it. You know, nothing major anyway, like, you know. So yeah, so that's where we are with the FW. She's out of action for the time being, but once she gets back in action, she should be golden. Just going through the wet spot I found with the fast track earlier in the year when I was power hour in this field. Bit rutty there. Oh dear. But apart from that, I've made good progress. What is this field? 18 acres? Is it 18? Yeah, I think it's about 18. And I reckon I've done 8 with the FW. On and off, so we've got on, not too bad considering, like, you know, so we're been scrabbling a bit, like, you know, we haven't been meeting our target speed, but yeah, we got through it. Certainly, like I say, it does help having the old CHT nav system. You know, I don't know of work today, to be fair. Just press it as it's going backwards. You know, obviously I'm not doing anything. It's straightening me up. Away we go, just like that. It is a good system. It is a really good system. And just like I say, you know, I haven't broke a sweat today. You know, tractor has. Tractor's definitely broke a sweat. So we're 18% wheel slip again at the minute, but she's coped. But you know, obviously it's no FW, is it? You know, but it was never going to be. You know, you can't compete with them big Arctics for power and traction. But yeah, other than that, hopefully we've, you know, done a bit of good in this field, lot. Well, yeah. So. Yeah, not going to dig any more holes in here. I mean, we know we're at the right depth, so although we have got some more, we've got some tiles to put in a couple of the other fields that have been laying wet, so we're going to put some new tiles in them. So I might see if I can film that, because that'd be interesting, lot. You know, see the process of actually laying a tile, not, you know, not the moulding, the actual laying of the actual tile itself. So see if we can film that. The other thing is, if you do any round baling and you make some sexy nice round bales, Tam are actually doing a competition they call like the star bale. So if you make a really mint bale, send it in to them, send them a picture, don't send the bale in, send them a picture of the bale, and you could well end up on the Tama 2025 calendar. It's pretty cool. So send them in to Tama, just go on Facebook and send your picture in if you've got a real sexy bale lot. I might even have a go. I've made a few sexy bales this year. Easy web ones and edge to edge ones. So I might chance my arm, see if I can get in the calendar. So if you've got any, send them in. I'm just cruising on the way home. It is tea time. At least that field's done now. Started by the FW, finished by the 225. So yeah, good job done. Anyway, like I say, it's tea time. Jack and potatoes tonight. So enjoyed that little vid. I'll see you on the next one. Ta-ta.